today I'm going to be breaking down and cleaning my wife's gun, her carry, which is actually a Ruger LC9. You can see the LC9 engraved in the slide there. It's a Ruger, and it's purple because that's just her favorite color. It's a 9mm weapon, semi-automatic pistol. It's really, really nice. I'm not a big fan of Ruger, but she is. So you gotta fire what you like. That's the most important thing. Alright, so anyway, first thing you always want to do when handling any type of firearm is to make sure the weapon is clear. Okay, normally this would be up on safe. So as it's on safe, you're going to press this button right here, which is the mag release. Alright, it comes with a single stacked 7-round magazine. Alright, now that you have the magazine drop, you want to take it off safe. And you're going to want to pull the slide back and lock it to the rear with this slide lock. Here's the slide lock right there. So pull the slide back, push it up to lock the slide back to the rear, and you're going to want to observe in the chamber. You can't really see because it's kind of dark. Some people stick their finger in there to make sure, but you really just want to observe. Make sure there's no round in the chamber. And this weapon is obviously clear. There's no round down in there. Alright, so move the slide forward. You just got to give it a little pull back, and you can let it go, and it goes back forward the way it's supposed to. Alright, so now, disassembly of this weapon. There's a little, I call it a lever, but it's probably not a lever. There's this little tab right here that you push down, and you'll see, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little pin in there. Alright, you come around to the other side, there's this very itty bitty gap right there. Can't really see it, but you can see the cutout in the lower. Alright, so you gotta take, there's a tool that comes with it if you buy it brand new with the box. If you don't have it brand new with the box, a flathead screwdriver can usually do the job. So you get it in there and you're gonna push on it. You have to move the slide back just slightly. There we go. Okay, so now the tab is sticking out. So once you get it to that point, push on it just a little more. Once you get to that point, you can take a pair of pliers. I have a Gerber. You grab that little pin. And you just pull it on out. Just like that. That's what it looks like. Alright, set that there. Now your slide's ready to come off. Just push it forward. And there you go. You have your lower receiver, which has your trigger housing and everything inside of that. And then you have your upper, which has your barrel, your spring, firing pin, everything like that. Alright, so you push forward on the spring a little bit. Just lift it up, it comes right out. You take this finger on the bottom here, just push up on that barrel, grab it. It slides right out. And there you go. There's your basic breakdown of this weapon. Q-tips are a must. I'm almost out. Q-tips are a must. Lucas Oil Extreme Duty Gun Oil. I don't know where I'd be without CLP. Remington Squeegee Kit. You've seen it before. I've showed it to y'all before, but you know, I'm really impressed with this kit. It's done a really good job for me. So anyway, now that we got all that situated, alright, now I'm going to start cleaning. And it's real simple. Just start by wiping stuff down. I'm going to spray some CLP down this barrel. Kind of break up the any carbon buildup in the barrel. There's no really perfect, I mean, some people probably disagree with how I clean, and you know, there's other cleaning videos out there, I mean, cleaning a gun isn't that hard, okay? You know, if you want to be a little OCD about it and clean it so perfectly and stuff like that, I'm sure there's videos, I'm sure there's people out there that know how to clean the gun like that. Me, it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, I just need the weapon to function reliably. You know, and to do that, it needs to be lubricated. It doesn't need to be a whole lot of carbon buildup in it. It doesn't need to be rusty. Things like that. Okay, a little bit of dirt here and there. It's not going to hurt it. I'm going to take this little brush here. And this brush right here actually comes from a different kit. It comes from an Otis cleaning kit from one of my, back in my military days. Now I'm going to take a little brush right here. Put on this wire. And all you're doing is scrubbing it with this brush to break up that carbon buildup, any carbon buildup that may be in it, or around the chambering right here. Put the squeegee on. This is the plastic squeegee for the 9mm. You feed it in backwards, and just like that. See all that dark stuff? Good old gun cleaning patches. Slide that in there. Move it back and forth. And like I said, there's probably hundreds of different ways that you can clean your weapon, that people clean their weapons. You know, this is just how I clean. You know, like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. These things were made to take a beating. These things were made to get dirty. As long as you don't have anything lodged up in your barrel, you know, that's going to block the round from doing what it's supposed to. As long as your weapon isn't like bone dry, you know, as long as you don't have any debris in your huge debris in your slide or in your lower receiver or something like that, the weapon's going to function just fine. So now we're just going to take the Q-tips and we're going to wipe down the slide. Okay, now that that's all done, I'm going to reassemble the weapon, but first, you need to lubricate it, alright? So, the basic point of lubricating any firearm is to mainly get where the metal contacts itself. So, on the slide, these little rails right here where the slide slides back and forth right here, you're going to want to lubricate that because it's making contact. The more lubricated it is on the contact points, the better the gun will function. Like I said, anywhere the metal contacts itself. So obviously I'm going to lubricate in here. Now when you put the barrel back in, as you can tell, there's some rubbing here on the top. You can see that discoloration right there. Well, I'm going to want to lightly coat this a little bit, but not up here. I will lightly coat it in here. When the slide comes back, the barrel is going to drop and fit into that little groove right there, and it's rubbing, constantly rubbing. Every time you fire it, boom, it rubs. Boom, it rubs. So you're going to want to put lubrication down in here in the bottom of your slide, along the rails. You can even lubricate these rails right here. This right here is going to come up and strike your firing pin, so if you want to lube that just a little bit, I don't think it'll hurt, but I don't ever really lubricate the lower. What you're going to do is, you're going to look right here, you can see the the little grooves right there. I'm going to put a drop down in there so it starts going all the way down. Sometimes a couple drops helps it go faster. So I'm going to let that do that for a minute. While that's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and lube right here on the bottom. So now that's reached the bottom, I'm going to take a Q-tip here. All the excess that's going to flow down here, I'm just going to mop it up. Alright, now that's pretty much dry. So I lubed right here. You can see there's contact discoloration. Put a little drop on the back of the firing pin. Lubed right there. Lubed down in the, which would be the top, but you know, the top of the slide on the inside right there. Alright, so now I'm going to put this thing back together. Some people even lube the spring. I don't lube the spring. I don't think it needs it. So get that spring set back down in there like that. And you're going to slide this slide. Oh, dog here. And slide it back on. Get that pin, drop it back in there. Like that. Give it a little push with the flathead. Back in there, let go of the slide, pull the little lever up, and there you go. Work it around a little bit. Put the mag back in it. Make sure it's not loaded. The cool thing about this gun is when the magazine's not in it, you can't squeeze the trigger. So you put the mag back in it, bang, and you squeeze the trigger. That's crazy. Now that you got it back together, you can kind of just go around, wipe it down where there's too much oil. That's it. Really quick video on how to take it apart, put it back together, how to wipe it down, clean it. Hit a like if you liked it. Let me know if you want to see any more gun cleaning videos. I have 2 Glocks, an AR, I got a bolt action 308. I can get a shotgun, clean a shotgun, take it apart, things like that. Any kind of weapon you want to see, I can probably get my hands on. So just let me know. That's it. Like I said, like and subscribe if you liked it. And we'll see you next time.